All right, guys, today we have what I think is the best driver video we've ever done. This video, if you're someone looking to improve your driving, is the exact routine that I would follow. I did it with my own game. I probably sent it to 20 or 30 students every single week. I promise this one's gonna really help you. Make sure you watch till the end because I layer on some details throughout the entire video. You're gonna love this one. It's gonna really help you become a great driver of the ball. Let's dive in. All right, guys, in today's video, we're talking about what I have used in my own swing to become what I consider to be a really good driver of the ball, which stats back up. What I used in a recent lesson with a student of mine that helped him go from about 240, 250 yard weak fades to the right to 280, 290 yard strong draws down the middle that he's been sending me texts about. The success of his drives going 20, 30 yards farther out on the golf course and much straighter. And it's all around this really one drill. It's like a 3-part drill or swing that I used myself back in the day, probably 20, 25 years ago, to be able to learn to hit my driver really solid. And I've used this in a ton of lessons, and I want you to be able to have this too if you're someone who struggles with driver. I think this one's really gonna help you. Again, sort of 3 or 4 parts that I turn into one motion. Here's how we start with this first. With driver, okay, to hit your driver successful, getting the club head to work into the ball from low and inside is always going to be a good idea. Getting the driver into the ball from high and outside is always going to be a bad idea. So inherently, this is all based on the best drivers of the ball that I see are able to get the club head to approach the ball from low and inside. That allows them to hit the center of the face, hit the ball the highest, the farthest, the straightest, okay? The worst drivers of the ball I see come down the highest to lowest, sort of steep, and from out to in, they hit the ball lower, shorter, pulls and fades. Okay, so if that's you, low, short, pulls and fades, you definitely want to do this. But the question is, okay, I want to get the club from low and inside. How do I do it? And there's 3 little steps I like to follow. The first part is to learn how to swing your arms freely through the ball to get the club face closed. And how I like to do that here, if you grab the club with your lead arm only and start off with little half swings. This is what I did. I'm, 13, 14, 15 years old in Pennsylvania in my garage doing this in the wintertime over and over. Let your arm rotate with your lead arm to the point where what you're trying to do through impact with this, you can have some folding of the arm. I want you to allow the toe to pass the heel ever so slightly in the follow through to the point where it's on about a 45-degree angle. Now, because there's no impact with the ball, that might look like it's a little bit closed to you, but once I actually impact the ball, that same feel will put me basically square, toe on top of the heel. So lead arm only, natural, just relaxed here, okay, not tension with the arms. Let the toe pass the heel. Now, when I'm trying to do this, notice what's going on with my body motion. Is my head going forward with it or is it staying back? My head's staying back. So the first thing I want you to do is learn lead arm rotation with your head staying back. If there was a line up through the golf ball, my head stays back behind it. My arm is extending away. Now notice I'm allowing the club to rehinge up. Okay, I'm not keeping it straight out. I'm allowing it to rehinge up, and I'm allowing the club face to naturally rotate right up the plane line with the toe in front of the heel. Now, once I'm doing a couple reps with lead arm only, when I'm with this student I was literally holding his head back, saying, go ahead, right? Like, let your arm rotate, it's okay. Let the butt of the club go away from you. Head stays back. Let it rehinge, natural rotation. Step 2 of this is add your right arm to it and still feel the same things. Now again, note what I'm doing here. Where's my head? My head stays back and my shoulder stays where? Down. If there's like one thing you could do with your driver, if you hit weak fades to the right, is learning how to let your arm swing freely through impact while keeping your head back and your shoulder down. Letting your arm swing freely through impact while keeping your head back and your shoulder down. Most players, when I show them this, what they'll do is they'll have their head go way forward and their shoulder will go way high. This like high shoulder, big arm rotation. That's not what I'm looking for. I want some natural arm rotation. I want some natural, let the club rehinge, but the head always stays back behind the ball and the shoulder stays down, okay? So step 1, left arm only. Step 2, both arms. What I added, because I was still coming over the top when I was doing that, is a little bit now of as I'm feeling this arm rotation with my head back, as I'm adding my trail arm with my head back and my shoulder down. Not a lot of body motion yet. Now I'm gonna get a general sense of having the arms, as I'm doing that, swing a little bit more in to out. So I'm kind of feeling like this club's kind of, you know, if the ball's 12, 1, 2, 3, kind of in here at 4 o'clock, out to 10 o'clock. So I'm feeling the same arm rotation, but this club is now feeling like it's going out to the right. Where's my head? Still back, where's my shoulder? Still down. Now the reason we're doing the free arm rotation first is because why? We said to hit the ball good with the driver, the club wants to come from low and inside. Now, if the club's coming into the ball from low and inside, what does the club face have to do? It's got to have some natural rotation to it. If the face is open, your brain's never going to swing from low and inside. You'll hit it way right. You're going to start swinging over the top, short, low, bad. So in order to get it from low and inside, square the club face first, natural arm rotation, which then means, okay, now I've got my club face having some natural rotation. Some of you guys might not like that, think that's too much. That's okay. If you start overhooking it, we can dial it down. Once I've got natural arm rotation, now I can feel my arm swinging a little bit more in and out. What am I doing? I'm still allowing the club to naturally rotate. The toe is in front of the heel, about 45. I'm allowing the club to rehinge, right? I'm not keeping it straight out. I'm allowing it to rehinge. Not a lot of body motion yet, but I'm just feeling like it's going a little bit in and out. The reason I want to feel my arms go into out is because as soon as I start to add my body turn to it, my arms that were once swinging like this, if I took my body out, as soon as I add body rotation, now what? Now that's going to be right on plane, okay? The body rotation is going to make the club not go as far in and out. It's going to make it go more neutral. Also, because we want to swing low and inside to the ball and we're hitting up on it, we got to hit a little bit from inside to offset that angle of attack. So these are just exaggerated feels, okay? Lead arm rotation one more time. Boom, boom. Add the trail arm, step 2. Heads back, shoulders down, allow it to rehinge. Get it working in and out, step 3. Now I'm gonna add some body motion. Add some body motion, what I start to do is I'll start to turn my body back a little bit on the way back and start to turn my body through. I'm still swinging this kind of half swing. So the arms are rotating. The arms are feeling like they're swinging in and out, and my body's turning. And if you've ever golfed with me, you'll note like this is what I do still today in my pre-shot routine. I feel this, body turns back. As my body's turning through, my arms are having some natural rotation and rehinging. It's a free arm swing. I'm letting the face close to the path, and I'm having the arms feel a little bit in and out because I know as soon as I go real and I get in there, that's going to be able to neutralize. Worst case scenario, if you overdo these things, is you overdraw the ball to the left. Now, I've been golfing, okay, for like 25 years. I've given tons of lessons. You know how many golfers that I work with that hit their driver high, far, and overdraw? Like 1%, okay? So that means the odds are if you're watching this and you want more distance, better driver, you want to work in this direction, okay, towards this. Even if you still want to fade it, maybe this will just reduce the slicing. Okay, so now with this, what I did in my garage, I added this little practice station. You've probably seen this one before. I have the stick right over the golf ball. So the front of the stick is over the middle of the ball from face on. And I've got it about a grip height to start with. Eventually, as I got good at this, I lowered it where you almost have no room. This is just to help give you a little visual of getting the club from inside, not high and outside as you do this. I also would like you to have a little club on the ground just to have a visual of where that club is working into the ball. So in your pre-shot routines as you're doing this, let's assume you've done a little bit of this first, right? Lead arm, add that trail arm, get the arm swing a little bit in and out, let the toe pass the heel. I'm adding some natural rehinging, some natural arm rotation. I'm allowing this arm to fold. I'm not chicken winging this way. Okay, I'm allowing some natural rotation, and add some body to it, back and through. So now when I hit, when I look down my target line, and I've got this little line kind of as my launch direction, I'm imagining the club working from inside, launching slightly right of that and drawing slightly to the left. And I've used these feels to where like in the beginning, I actually drew my driver quite a bit. Now I use some of these just to hit it fairly straight. It just prevents an overfade. So now I'm trying to hit and take those same feels, right? Take those same feels through impact, get the club working from inside, natural arm rotation, right? My head and shoulder obviously are going to stay back as I do this. And that would look something like that. That ball launches down the right side of the fairway. That ball probably drew, I don't know, maybe 5 yards to the left. And I had those same sort of sensations that gave me that ball flight pattern that I wanted. So as I'm hitting here, what I really want to do, and what I do with the student of mine, I told him, hey, put this in your pre-shot routine. Like behind the ball back here is fine. Feel this once or twice. You know, take the club back just hip high. Feel the arms rotating. Head stays back. I'm trying to get the club head as far away from me as possible without my head going forward and without my shoulder going up. Remember, this arm rotation is not this. That's not what I'm looking for. That's going to cause you low point issues, contact issues. The head stays back, the shoulder stays down, the arms have natural rotation, and then I'm just adding my chest and body turning back and through. And you might need to feel this. Like if you're someone who curves it, slices it 30 yards to the right, you might need to feel this. You might still hit like a 10-yard fade, but you might need to feel this amount just to have that 10-yard fade. That's okay. It doesn't need to draw. You would just fade it less. So same sort of feels. Head back, shoulder down, natural arm rotation through the hit. And there's the same sort of thing. So that one I actually overdrew a little bit. That probably started just left of center and drew like just into the left rough. And that's the goal here. Like when you're hitting your driver, that ball went high, far, and had a pretty solid draw to it. Now, if you're the like 1 out of 10 conservatively of people that I've met over the past 20 years or so that already overdraws your driver, then you don't need to do as much of the arm rotation piece. Okay, you don't need to do that part as much. I would still feel the arms going away, the head staying back, the shoulder down. I'd still swing from inside this. I would just be a little bit less aggressive with the arm rotation and just keep that toe right on top or even slightly right of the heel. Totally fine with that. But if you're still missing to the right, you need to do these things the most. And if you're doing this and you feel like you're really doing it a lot and the ball's still missing right, you got an issue earlier on. You got to check that. Send it to cogornogolf.com, come see us in person, something. But same feels here, right? Lead arm only, arm rotation. Club head's far away from me, head's back. I'm allowing it to rehinge, allowing the face to naturally rotate closed. Add my trail arm. Same thing, really key that the head stays back and shoulder stays down. Have I said that yet? Arms rotating. Kick that path a little bit to the right now as you do it. What a good driver drill this is. And then add some body, back, through. I'm not sure that there's any golfer in the world who wouldn't benefit from this. This is exactly what I did with my driver. It is the strongest part of my game, has been my whole life. Like as I get farther from the hole, I get better when I go play. Driver's always my best club. Same feels. And same sort of thing. So that ball's starting down kind of the right part of the fairway, drawing down the left edge. I'm just going to do one more. But these are the feels that you want to have. Arms, free arm swing to square the face. Remember, swinging from low and inside is good. Free arm swing to square the face. Add the arms to the right, add the body. Same sort of thing. Launching it a little bit right, having it draw back. Really feeling the head back, the arms rotating and rehinging and just adding the body to it. Same sort of feels. Same thing, big high bomb draw, starts down the right edge of the fairway, curves back to the center. And that's what I'm looking for with this, right? Like there's a lot of pieces to the swing, but if you can get these big picture macro things right, you want to get the same ball flight pattern going over and over and know how to fix your misses. So object over the ball, object from inside, swing the club head from inside, use that little drill. It's what I've used forever. It's what my student gained 20, 30 yards on. I'm going to use this for the rest of my life. I hope you do too. Any question on this stuff, leave us a comment down below. Appreciate you watching. If you click that little like button, helps us out. Maybe send it to a friend. Thanks for being here with us.